Did you know that 50% of leads never get a follow-up? That problem alone could be costing your company tens of thousands or even more, depending on your product, of dollars per year. Today, we're going to talk about how to close that gap and fix that problem. Let's face it, if 50% of leads are not getting followed upon, most likely if you don't have an automation set up in your company, you have inbox full of unread emails, missed call notifications on your sales team's phone or even on your phone, because most likely you're doing other things and you don't have time to jump the gun on every lead that comes through. So here's the problem. If I'm looking for a service, the other day I was looking for a social media service because I'm trying to add on to our team and find somebody else who can do social media marketing for us. So I'm online and I'm looking at different resumes, I'm looking at different possibilities, and I'm making certain offers and emails to certain people. Hey, we're interested in what you have to offer. Can you show us something? Now, certain people got back to me within an hour or within 30 minutes, and those were the people that I gave a chance to demo me. Other people came 2-3 days later, said, hey, sorry, I missed this. By then, it's too late. We've already made our purchase. We've already made our decision. Even if you say I'm better, faster, greater, it's too late. I've already made my decision. I don't want to go through the whole process again. And this is what most customers look like when they come to your company. If you are selling a product, a service, and they have a question, maybe you're a restaurant and there was an allergy question you can't answer in time and they go to find someplace else to eat. Maybe you're a SaaS company. Somebody says, hey, can you fix this problem of mine? But you take too long and another SaaS company took their business. You don't want that to happen. It's not cool. It's not fun. Even as an agency owner, it's not fun when it does happen to us. So because of that, a lot of companies come to us thinking that their problem is a traffic problem. If we only had more traffic, then hopefully all of the marketing woes will just fix themselves and everybody will come and kumbaya. That doesn't usually happen. Usually it is because simply there isn't a system behind your company that's catching these leads, nurturing those leads, following up with those leads fast enough for them to make that quick decision. So you don't want more traffic if you don't have a system. All that's going to do is cost you more money and ruin your reputation with more customers. You do not want that. So why does this happen? Number one, too many manual tasks. Most likely, there's some sales reps spending more time updating CRMs than talking to customers or updating the system or making notes, and they're just too busy to answer the phone. Number two, no alerts or routing rules. If you have no sales alerts coming through and no routing rules happening to make sure that person who's inquiring gets sent to the right person, most likely that's going to cause a delay because the wrong salesperson is not going to know how to answer a certain type of question coming through if it's not their product. This can be fixed very simply. And reason number three, no automation for first touch. This is the main situation, because if somebody's making a touch to your company, if they're inquiring, there should be an immediate confirmation email that says, hey, we hear you, we're going to respond to you, stay put within the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Don't go beyond that. We will be responding to your inquiry. You can even have an automation that waits for keywords to happen and responds to them based on those keywords. And you can reset that. It could take a few hours, maybe even a few days to set up a system that will last years and years and conquer those questions the moment they're asked. You can do this through bots that work with social media accounts that look for certain keywords to say, hey, good question, here's an answer. We can do it with automations that look for keywords that will come into a form fill or even what product are you interested in, and it responds in that way saying, hey, I see you're interested in this product. Here's some Q&A that you might actually be talking about before a salesperson can get to you. That's a great idea. Now, if your team doesn't respond initially, a lead loses interest because that lead's going to move on to something else. Let's say you have a product that's $200 in the lifetime value of that product and you have 100 leads. You just lost $10,000 of potential business simply by not having a system. I'm not even talking about with ad spend factored into that. So 100 leads, 50 ignored, that's $10,000. That's money falling through the cracks that could have been easily fixed with a one-time automated system. Now let's talk about the solution. This is what changes everything. So we're going to build a system that immediately jumps on that lead with no excuses, no misleads, no reasons of why it can't do it, because it's just waiting and listening for that form to fill out, for that social media comment to come, whatever it is, it's waiting and it's listening. So we're going to go and build a simple 1 or 2, maybe even 3, because I like you. We're going to do this pretty easy, simply in this automation tool that I'm going to be using today. So today we'll be using GoHighLevel. If you want to see your automation tool used, just comment below. Our last video, we did Marketo. Today, let's build this in GoHighLevel. We're going to build a simple workflow that includes a confirmation email, a welcome message, and a text letting them know that we got their request. That alone is going to save you a whole lot of time. Now, if I have more time, I will jump into some constraints to think about, some if, ands, and buts to think about, and we're going to go through this very simply. If you want more information about this and you want to download the workflow, just click the link below. We will have this ready for you. All we need is your email address, and we will send the full workflow. So we are in GoHighLevel. If you're a small business and you're wanting to get into workflows, definitely check them out. These guys have a great tool. But what we're going to do, we've already picked our trigger as a form submitted. And now I'm going to say, okay, if somebody submitted a form, and if I jump into this trigger here, you can see that the form is video promotion. So we have a form that we created for a video promotion product for this company. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, somebody went on a website, or this is, in this case, a funnel. They watched our video, they looked at the information, and they said, hey, I want to set up a video promotion for my restaurant. And this is a cool tool. So now that they filled out that form, we're going to basically select an action, and that action is going to be an email. So the from name, and I'll just put Georgia Foodies. From email, so georgiafoodies.com, subject, thank you for your inquiry. And I'm just going to use Write with AI. I'm going to put something quickly in here, like send an email thanking them for their inquiry, and let them know that our video package is going to be a hit, and we know it will do well on YouTube as well as social media. Let them also know that they will receive a text message within the next 5 minutes explaining more details. Now, that text message is going to be very similar to whatever tone this is. So we're going to formal this, blah, 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 generate email. Gotta love AI tools inside of automation places. Thanks for reaching out to us. We receive, we're confident, blah, 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 blah. For the sake of everything, I'm going to just use this email. Great. Now we have an email, and we're going to save this action. And now we have an email here. Now, so they fill out a form, immediately they get an email. I'm going to put a wait step here. So what I'm going to do is for actions, wait. You now have an email. I want to wait 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, we are going to send not really an email, but after 5 minutes, we want to send a push notification. So SMS. I don't need a template for this. And then we will do another SMS with AI. Quick SMS message letting them know that they can to schedule their video. Use message. So we can give them a link and say, hey, click this link, and all that will do is send them to another landing page that has our calendar, and they can click a time for us to come and shoot. Now, save action. Boom. Now we have an email. So the moment that form is submitted, they get an email. Hey, we see you. We're excited. This is going to be great for your company. Now they get a text message saying, hey, click here and you're going to get, you'll be able to set up that video shoot that you inquired about, that you want for your restaurant. Okay, one thing that we can also do, I forgot, is definitely notify somebody to get back with this person. So while we're emailing them, we're waiting, we're text messaging them. Before any of that happens, we need to add a task. So we will do add a task. We will basically title this respond video inquiry response. And I'll just put a quick token in here and say, hey, full name. You have 1 day to respond to this inquiry. In the meantime, they will be sent a text message to set up a time. I'll assign this to somebody. I'll say it's due in 1 day or now in this situation, and save the action. So now we have the moment they fill out the form, there's a task. Boom, the task hits. You got contact them, but they're gonna get an email. The email comes right after the task. So now they're getting an email while she's trying to figure out who they are, what they're doing. While she's figuring that out, they got a text message already saying, hey, go ahead and set this date up for your shoot. So by the time she contacts them, hopefully they've already, set up the shoot, they set up the date, and she will be able to see that on their record, because we can easily put a bridge here and we can say, hey, branch out. And I'll say, in case this customer has a change in their record, like last appointment is not empty, then I will save this action. So now we have a branch. It's like, if the last appointment is not empty, that means they've already set the appointment up to speak to us. We're good. If it's empty, then that means they didn't set the appointment. And we know that, we need to kind of push them to get that appointment done. But even if they set this appointment, we could always throw in something else. Like, let's say this person's terrible at just getting them to agree to buy. We could always put an invoice situation in here where we can say, okay, in that case, we're going to go ahead and send them an invoice because they've already, made the appointment. So they've already, decided that this is what they want. So now we'll send them an invoice. And what we'll do is we'll put another text message in here that basically says, let's see, SMS. That basically says, thank you for setting up your appointment. Next, you will receive a text message to pay the amount of whatever this is, $600. This will solidify your date and move things along quickly. Save action. So now we can even branch out and say, okay, this is all happening automatically. We're getting a task to a salesperson. While that salesperson is trying to figure out when to contact them, who they are, they're getting an email, they're getting an SMS. And if they're listening to their SMS messages, they've already filled out the form and they now have set up their video shoot. Now they're getting an invoice, a SMS saying you're getting an invoice. They got the invoice. We're good. If they pay that invoice, we're good. We haven't been to them yet, but we've already pushed them along.
And that one automation is going to make you sales day in, day out, midnight, 5 in the morning. It's going to run whenever somebody triggers a form fill. Now, let's say the lead went through this whole process and they still did not buy. That's fine. Through this whole process of the 7 emails we set up, we are scoring that lead based on their behavior. So at the end of a week or 2 weeks, we can set something up that says, hey, if that lead, maybe they didn't purchase, but they've been clicking the links, they've been opening the emails, they've been doing all the things that show that they're interested, we can still put them into a contact with a salesperson that says, hey,
let me follow up with you. Or even if it's a solopreneur like yourself, you can easily pull up a report that says, hey, who's scoring the highest? Who's making the most moves, the most behaviors, clicking the most links? And we can still follow up with those people. So when a lead has a certain score, we can automatically send an alert to ourselves, send an alert to a salesperson if you're a bigger company, and those alerts will notify them that, hey, I think this person's sales qualified. I think they've made enough moves, clicked enough links that even though they haven't purchased yet, they are qualified for you to spend your time trying to close that deal. You want that to happen because a lot of times a lead is kicking the tires, they're walking around, they're checking it out, but they might be looking at 5 other sources at once. If you're the only one to actually personally connect with them at this point, you will be the one to most likely get their business. If you're the one that's ignoring them and someone else calls, guess what? You've lost that business. So it's always good to have other fail-safes, such as an alert in place. So even if that person goes through a whole nurture without purchasing, you can be alerted. If they go through the whole nurture without doing anything, they didn't click an email, they didn't click anything, they didn't open emails, the emails are bouncing, you also don't want those people in your database. So we can have an automation to remove those people and say they're not interested, let's not bother them and keep bothering them. All they're gonna do is block you, and that will hurt your brand reputation. You don't want that happening. So I hope this has been a great training exercise. So the real world example is if your lead fills out a form, they are waiting hours for a response, they're getting no response, and they're getting cold and moving on. Now, if you have an automation that lead submits a form, immediately we see there's an instant message, there's a follow-up sequence, there's sales alerted, there's a lead warned, there's high close rates. All these things happen simply because we have an automation place. So the payoff is that when a system is running, your businesses never lose a lead, you have rapid instant responses, you build trust automatically, and you are growing faster, increasing revenue, and you're able to scale just because you have a system that is running behind you and catching all of the fouls, catching all of the fumbles. It is a system that is made to lift you up when you are too busy so that you can focus on things that matter, and you have a system that's picking up all of the rest of the clout. This is why I love automation. It makes our lives easier, not harder. And it only takes one major build to take hundreds and even thousands of hours out of your work time, especially for solo entrepreneurs like yourself or like me. So if you want to talk about this a bit more, go ahead and click the link below, book a consultation with us. I would love to talk to you, or one of my team members would love to talk to you about what you're looking for your business and your system. Thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you later.